with your mom now?
My relationship with my mom now is we mended a lot of wounds, from a lot of misperception of things that she thought about me and what I had.
Oh no.
To grandma. But, my truth is my truth, and I have to tell it because I want somebody else to be healed, somebody else to be set free from, sexual assault, and to know that don't keep, it boiled up inside of you because, what the enemy meant for bad, God means it to be good, and you can be set free, and you can be healed because even after being molested at 11, at 14 I turned around and I was raped. And he, in the midst of that rape, he told me, if you say anything to your mother, I'll kill you, and I'll kill your mother. So don't say nothing. And I fought this man. I fought him, and he was choking me. And all I had to do was just look out the window, and I couldn't get the locks up, out of the car to break free. And I just let him, just have his way. And after that, I felt so empty. And I did ask God, why? Why is all of this happening to me? And I just felt like nothing. At 14, I felt like I had no purpose. I had no self-worth. And I had nobody that I could talk to. But that's what the enemy tries to make you think and feel, that you'll have nobody to talk to. Don't say anything. Don't tell anybody anything. You keep all of that buried down inside of you so you can feel bad about yourself.
And so you could jump off the cliff because that's what he wants you to think, that you are, you're trashy, you're dirty. Most victims of child sexual abuse or rape, they deal with the pain of feeling filthy. They feel unworthy to even be in a relationship with another person. It's the demons in their mind that torment them, that have them to want to commit suicide, and that life is not worth the living because, in that darkness, in that pit afterwards. And, you ask God the same question I asked him, why me? But then you hear him say, why not you? Because I chose you to carry this, because I know that I have confidence in you that you're going to overcome it. And sometimes we just don't understand the confidence that we have, that God has in us, that we can carry something. I've been dealing with Jesus going to the cross in my studies lately, and I just can't imagine being whooped all night long, and nails in my hands, nails in my feet, a crown of thorns, and hanging on a cross for anybody. But he did it for us. And sometimes life has a way of taking you around through some twists and turns, and we all got our testimonies. And I used to joke that, God, out of all of the testimonies that you could have gave me, because in my spiritual imagination, I just see him with this book of testimonies. And I'm like, you when you got to me, you had to give me the child sexual abuse. Like, I couldn't have been an alcoholic or a prostitute or something else. You couldn't give me nothing else, but you gave me that. But he said, I gave it to you because I got confidence in you that you can carry it. And if you got, and because I have confidence in you, God says what we have sown in tears, we're going to reap in joy. And that's what makes my heart leap, because the things that we have sown, the tears that we have cried, those secret tears, it's those places that made me put Pillow Talk together, because it's those secret struggles. Nobody knows that us being victims of child sexual abuse, we struggle with being men. We struggle with being with our men, being with my husband. Do you know that it's a struggle for me to be intimate? Now, I done had sex with many men before I got married. I done fornicated a whole lot, because when I was in the world, I did it good. I was her. I did that thing. I did it well. And then I get married, and God give me my Boaz, and the enemy want to come into my bedroom and tell me that I can't be intimate with my husband. The devil is a liar. He's a liar. But those is the things that we go through, and we're uncovering it today, because he mad because we speak about it. He don't like Pillow Talk show. We be having all types of technical difficulties when the show come on, because he don't want this word to get out. But we going to come against all of those things on this show. We going to cut it down issue by issue, and we going to deal with it. So I want to, after you were raped, because, girl, I'm so fired up on tonight. I keep forgetting we having an interview, but God is good. So after you was raped and all of that, where did you come to your place of forgiveness? How did you come to forgive and to move forward to be able to forgive and do ministry?
You know, Tanya, I didn't come into my place of forgiveness maybe until I turned 40. That's when I came into my place of forgiveness. Because, just to, let you know that I have a son also out of incest from my uncle.
Yeah. I forgot about the baby. I forgot that you did tell me that you had the baby, where I had the abortion from my father. You had the baby. So how is it raising that child of incest? How is that? How does that work for you?
Oh, that was really hard. It was hard for me. It was hard for him. Because I moved away to Baltimore. Baltimore is where I'm from. And I wanted to raise him there in Baltimore, away from all of the stigma in St. Mary's County, where I now reside. And he was picked on, a lot more than I knew of, until he finally came out and told me that, children and adults, pick on him, and the adults would tell their children, don't play with him because, he's a product of incest. Don't play with him. And where me as the adult, being in relationships that men knew about it, when we were getting an argument, that's the first thing I wanted to throw up in my face. You got to somebody your uncle, so who are you to talk to anybody? Because here you are with a injury. That's what they used to call him, an injury. So that was really hard. And him and I had to bond because he was angry all the time. He stayed angry so much that him and I, we had to bond with each other. And we used to say, with my daughter, we're all we got. And I used to pray to the Lord, what is it that I can do as a mother to help them through all of this, to help them through the bitterness, to help them through the anger, to help me through the bitterness, to help me through the anger. And I tell you, like I said, when I turned 40, it was nothing but the grace of God. I went to the altar, and I was like, God, I release it. I give it all to you. Because if I'm going to be going to the church that I'm going to, and it's this thing that you're burdening me deep down inside of me to speak and talk to women, men, children about, molestation and incest and rape, I have to be healed. I have to be healed. I have to come to grips with what's happened to me. And, I gave it all to him, and it wasn't a easy process. And there was a lot of anger for a lot of years that I had to get up out of me, and a lot of discomfort in seeing my uncle, on some daily basis, at church. That's an awkward feeling. Nobody knows how awkward that feeling is to know that this is the man here that, incest you, and y'all have a son together. That's really hard. It's very hard. But through the grace of God, I maintain, and I come through it.
Yes, and it was only the grace of God because, you know, sometimes I just feel like I get so in awe at God because God does everything well. You know, I couldn't imagine being in the like I always say that my mother took me to have the abortion when I got pregnant by my dad, and I don't know how I would have been able to handle that. But, you know, like God always gives you what you need. You know, you're one of the three women that I do know that do have a child out of incest. And, you know, it's always something. Every time you hear a story of it, one story is just a little bit more horrific than the last story. And this is the things that would have went to the grave. You know, if the family could have kept it a secret, it would have just went to the grave. Not knowing how it's killing the daughter, not knowing how it's killing the person who it happened to. They really don't care as long as the secret doesn't get out and the family's name stay intact. But to heck with all of that, we're gonna make sure that, you know, that's why Not on My Watch was created, so that if we could protect one child from being abused, you know, because child sexual abuse is one of the hardest things to overcome. Many people don't make it into their 40s because they either did drugs so bad and they done messed up their bodies from the drugs, or they done committed suicide. It's not something to overcome, but it is doable through the grace of God. And I just thank you for being so transparent with your story, because I really feel that someone is being helped on tonight. And so my next question is, did you do any therapy?
I'm now currently in therapy now. 2 years ago I did try to commit suicide. I've tried to commit suicide a number of times, but this recent time I was going to drive my car off the bridge. Nobody knew. This is the first time anybody's here. And I was going to drive my car off the bridge just because I just felt like, Lord, nobody understands. And I just felt like it was a dark film covered over me. And God removed that film from me. And I just want to tell you, you know, therapy, people think that, oh, I'm not going to go to therapy. I'm not going to open up and tell them, you know, what's happening, especially when in the church area, you know, saying that you go to therapy, that's kind of like a hush-hush thing. Give it all over to the Lord. You know, He'll heal it and He'll make a way. Yes, He will, but He also gave us access to other things. And therapy has been wonderful. It has opened my eyes up to, you know, a lot of things. So, yes, I am going to therapy, and therapy is great.
That is so awesome, because a lot of times I know in the Black community, we think that therapy is a bad thing. Going to see the psychiatrist is a bad thing. But you better know, them Caucasians will get them some help in a minute. They will call, can I have my mental health benefit? Because I feel like I'm going to shoot 20 people, or I feel that I'm going to hurt myself if I don't get this medication. So before they actually ask, just know that they went and got some help. And sometimes we think that we don't need no help. Now, my problem comes in when you go to church Sunday after Sunday after Sunday, and you still feeling the same way, and the pastors don't recognize that the people are hurting in the church. That's the problem, but that's a different topic for a different day. So we're going to go on to the next question. And the next question is, after all of this that has happened, you're surviving child sexual abuse, raising your son that belongs to your uncle, with your uncle still being in the picture, and moving forward to the next thing that God has for you to do. Let us know what's next for you. What is next for Shauna Dove on the menu?
Well, what's next for Shauna Dove on the menu is that God is going to expand the ministry of Menders of Broken Heart. I am going to put together a conference. I want to put together a conference here in Maryland, and for the women, men too, for healing. that's my purpose, is to get the conference together. I also want